Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Lost. This is the 22nd episode of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click in it, put the password in, and enjoy. Speaking about links in the description, we are running our most likely to dislike characters of this season, so please do take 30 seconds, choose your votes, and your results on mine will be shown in the final episode of season 1. It's going to be very interesting to see, and maybe the actions of a couple of characters in the last few episodes maybe have dictated, you know, your opinions on them, and maybe it cemented your obviously voting you know, for your characters. So I can't wait to see. And obviously last episode it was putting Boone to rest. It was his funeral. Yes, obviously he did die from the wounds from obviously going on the hunt with Locke after he saw the plane in his vision. And then obviously Boone's gone up there, he's searching, he's trying to find information. He's gone to the front of the plane, mayday, mayday, mayday. You know, we're survivors on the Oceana plane. Boone, mate, you know, obviously the weight of him has crashed down. And obviously we've seen him obviously get taken to Jack and die from his injuries. Now Shannon, she's blaming Locke for all of this. And you know, it's 50-50 actually. You know, I don't blame Locke for anything that's happened to him in terms of the plane falling down. They was both searching together. Locke did have something in his leg, and obviously he couldn't make it up, so Boone went up there instead. When it did look like he was rocking, you know, Locke was telling him to get down. But also, you know, Jack countered it last episode and said, look, you told us that he fell off a cliff. So while we was focusing all our resources on this and that, you know, we was mistreating him because we didn't know that the pressure, his weight, and his leg was crushed, and you know, you had one of the reasons why he actually has died. You know what I mean? Like, we was focusing on something else when we didn't know the actual full facts of what actually happened. And Shannon believes obviously that is his you know, he is the cause of Boone's death. Now she's pulled a gun on him. You know, she stole the key from Jack's neck as he was sleeping. She's gone, she's got the gun, she's pulled it on him. Saeed's managed to jump in the way and kind of like knock her out. She's managed to graze his head and cut it. It looks like it may have ended both of her and, you know, Saeed's relationship, to be honest. And luckily, you know, Locke survived again. He survived the monster on the island. He survived the shot at himself. He's got his walking legs back when he was crippled, you know, at the start of the season. So he's having a crazy one. It's really interesting to see what's going on. I mean, I'd still like to see the raft and maybe an episode of them fixing it up and getting into the sea. And maybe how, obviously, you know, well, can it even float? That is a big question. Obviously, I want to know what's going on with the hatch as well. Is Saeed going to actually be taken there from Locke? Because he confronted him about that at the end of the last episode. So I'd like to see more of that one. And, you know, I'd like to see a few more of the others and what's going on with Danielle as well. I'd like her to become into the camp, because I feel like the 2 episodes that she's been in have been pretty good. So the more the merrier for me. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode. Is that Kate? Blonde hair. Pretty smart that, to be honest, isn't it, mate? If they've got an early checkout, you can sneak in there. Yeah.
I'm expecting a letter. All for guest arrival.
I wonder what that letter says. I can never understand the font of that writing.
Now, Driveshaft's albums must have spiked when I come back. Alive. It's gonna be insane.
Raining every afternoon. That means that we are on the cusp of monsoon season. The trade winds are blowing north right now.
What's that mean?
That means when the monsoon season hits, the trade winds are gonna shift to the south. Can anyone tell me what is the only piece of land that's south of us?
Antarctica. So when do we have to leave?
Yesterday.
Supplies all set, you got food, fresh water, everything.
Hey, no offense, but I got work to do. I have a sudden interest.
Because I'm going with you.
That wouldn't make sense though, does it? Because we've got Walt, Michael, Jin, and Sawyer. They're the 4 people. They said it can only hold 4 bodies. So, I mean, she's a 5th. It wouldn't work out. But also, you know, you're kind of operating on the unknown. But the fact is, if you know nothing about the weather, because I don't, and literally nothing, and there's somebody there who seems like they do, or they convince they are, or they seems like they're talking a lot of sense, you know, you would have to act fast, wouldn't you? Basically, he's saying, look, mate, you know, the rain's coming in, the wind's gonna change pretty much. You want to be heading north. That's where all the shipping boats go. Do you know what I mean? You want to be heading in that direction. If you wait a couple of weeks, mate, yo, the wind's gonna change. You're gonna be pushed and drift aside to that way, and you're gonna be heading towards Antarctica. Well, that's bad news, isn't it? You don't want to be doing that. So I know that there's no intention of leaving right now, but then once you hear that and think about it, it seems pretty logical to me, and I would be trying to get it ready as fast as I can to get going.
Look, raft's full. We need 4, we got 4.
Including Sawyer?
Including him.
I spent 2 summers crewing J-boats. I know my way around a sailboat.
Yeah, maybe so, but a deal's a deal.
Isn't it funny how sketchy they get around police? They make themselves, I wouldn't say you're making it obvious, but do you know what I mean? They kind of make it so you look at them.
Hey, Tom. Diane's dying of cancer. Thought I owed it to her to come see her. I need your help.
당신도 갈 거예요? 여보, 제발 나랑 얘기 좀 해요.
나도 갈 거야.
That thing that he's tying up there, that don't look like it's stable enough, does it? The way he's wrapping it around.
What is this thing?
That's what we need to find out, baby.
Yo, Chief, we're sailing out in the ocean, right?
You mind?
Sulu over here is packing a suitcase full of salted fish. We can't catch fish.
You know anything about surviving at sea?
Do you?
Doesn't matter what I know, I built it. Maybe you are the wrong guy to go on the raft.
And who the hell's gonna take my place? What the hell you think you're doing? I know what you're doing. I know why you wanted that Halliburton case so bad. The one that belonged to the U.S. Marshal, you were his prisoner. Chance of running's getting on that raft, ain't it? Picked up by a ship. When they come back to rescue the rest of y'all, gonna be a nice big asterisk next to your name.
Not wrong, is there?
Don't worry, Puddin'. Your secret's safe with me.
Hey, Sawyer, I want your spot. I'll get your spot.
I hope you don't, Kate, if I'm being totally honest. I actually hope you don't. Do you know what, right? He's read that situation well there, hasn't he, Sawyer? Because that is true. She wants to get off the island because, like Charlie was saying, if they come, they're all going to be famous. Everybody's going to be wanting to speak to them. Everybody's going to be cameras, pictures, everything. She knows that if she gets caught, she's going down. She's getting taken back to the US, obviously, by a marshal because she's killed somebody. That's what it looks like and sounds like. So, to be honest, the best thing for her to do is run in. She's probably hoping that she can get on that boat and then when they get closer somewhere, she could dip out. Do you know what I mean? Or she could run away or change her identity like we just kind of seen at the start. She was changing the number plates in the back of the cars, wasn't she? So she tried to be on the move all of the time. And her name wasn't even Kate when she went in and asked for a letter. I don't know what, I can't remember what she said at the start, but it wasn't Kate. But the thing is, what kind of stresses me out with Kate is that she holds up, like, sometimes she lies because, you know, people ask her questions and she has answers, but she only gives little bits. She only gives what she wants you to know. But, like, there's a lot of dark cloud, like, mysteria around her where we don't totally know a whole story and everything that's going on. But I also feel like, as well, I feel like she plays a lot of people in the camp, if that makes sense. So, like, I don't know, I feel like she likes Jack and she likes Sawyer, and like she just tries to use the situations to help her sometimes, and she doesn't reveal it. Just like when she tried to be nice to Jack so he could dig up the body. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then she tried to dupe it, just like him, like with the case and stuff like that before. Like, I do like Kate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I dislike her, but there is some traits around her that where I feel like I wouldn't believe everything that she says, and that's you know what I mean. Like, you don't want that. You want, when somebody says something, you want everybody to believe it. It's not a good trait when people don't believe the stuff that you say.
So what were you and Sawyer arguing about?
I told him something he didn't want to hear.
We're gonna come back for everybody else, right?
Finding it again might be hard.
That is actually true.
So we fly around and look for it?
Absolutely. But there's no guarantees. That's why you and me...
Dad!
Get Jack!
Oh, that happened quick, wasn't it? Jack, and it was that drink.
It's my dad.
What's the matter?
His stomach is really bad. Jack!
3 weeks, give or take.
Been out here for 3 weeks digging this thing up, and you never told me about it.
Oh, I don't have to.
Jack, but since when do I report to you?
But you lied.
How long did you have that case full of guns before you decided the rest of us needed to know?
That is a good counter.
Discretion.
So how do we open it?
I brought you here to talk him out of this insanity.
Anything could be inside. Maybe it was never meant to be opened from the outside.
Seen it in the 100, you know, they had an apocalypse bunker, so it's not a bad thing that you can't get into it. You know, potentially there's some really, really good stuff inside of it. Do you know what I mean? It could be people living there, or there could be supplies. Do you know what I mean? It could be weapons, or it could be really bad. Who knows? But I like how he's just counted him. He's saying, you've known about this for 3 weeks and you've not told us. Well, first of all, Jack, you're not in charge, so I don't need to tell you anything. You lied, Locke. Well, again, I think it's personally a grey area. If you know an answer to a question and somebody asks you and you tell them something false, that's lying. If nobody asks you about the capsule or the whatever it is, or the hatch, and you don't reveal it, it's not lying. You know, lying is not knowing something and not telling people. Lying is telling people wrong answers when asked. So it was good that he flipped it and said, well, you had the guns, and how long did it take you to tell us? You know what I mean? You only done it because we was in a desperate situation.
It's Michael. Something's wrong.
Drinking enough water?
2-3 bottles.
Where are you getting that water from?
No, the caves, like everybody else.
I don't think it's Walt this time.
Hello? Hey, Adam, hey. Listen, can you carve out some time for me on the MRI? Okay. Yeah, thanks, Adam.
His name's Connor. That's Rachel, that's not me.
Where is she?
She's over in Cedar Rapids visiting her folks.
Think it's still there? You know what?
It's the middle of the night, Katie.
We might not get another chance.
It's a, yeah, as I say, do you reckon it's like a time capsule? You know, like you see it in schools, don't you? Stuff like that. You bury them, come back and get them.
What do you think it is? Heat stroke?
No, you would have felt that coming on. Feeling any better?
Cramps are quieting down. You and Locke kiss and make up?
No, I don't.
What? Somebody did this to me?
I don't know.
You never know who to trust, do you?
Sawyer.
Finger pointing again, man. They just judge and act.
But yeah, sometimes I help you fill the water. Hey, you don't think Kate did it, do you?
Why would Kate poison Michael?
Fugitive thing?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Well, how am I supposed to keep straight who knows what around here? I mean, Steve didn't even know about the polar bear.
What does she do?
Why don't you ask her?
Don't move, you know, I'm gonna cut your ear off.
Ah, she's good.
They're like a little couple, these two.
Really feeling it as well. What's the first thing you're gonna do when we get rescued? You can hang out with me in LA.
Guy's writing a new album, like, while he's here. Yeah, I suppose there's no better time.
How's Michael? Because, you know, Dr. Arndt said if they don't
Did you
leave
poison
tomorrow...
Michael, Kate?
Do you really think I'm capable of that?
I don't know what you're capable of.
Just before we go into this bit here, yeah? That scene there, if it's supposed to make us feel sorry for Kate, it doesn't. And the only reason why is because I said it before, is that when Kate speaks, you don't know if she's telling the truth or not. And I was saying that's a big problem, you know. I would want people in real life to know that if I said something, I mean it. And I'm being totally honest. And that means that people could take my word for what it is. Now, Kate, you can't. You know what I mean? She'll say one thing and she's done the total opposite. Or she'll say one thing and it's not even real. And, like, that's where her downfall is, because people don't know whether to trust her or not, because, you know, what she gives out is not always like the actual true information. And like I said, that's she's doing it for her own personal reasons, and that's fine, but she needs to understand that, you know, not everybody feels the same way, and like people obviously will start trusting her less and less and less, especially when they start revealing and learning about her background. She's going to start going down the pecking order of people's obviously like trusting list or whatever.
You brought beer?
No self-respecting man in Iowa goes anywhere without beer. My plane.
Oh, it's his plane?
Kate and Tom.
I think it's on. It's on. This is Kate Austin and Tom Brennan. On August 15th, 1989. It'll be totally cool when we dig it up in like 20 years, because we'll be married and you'll be a mom and we'll have 9 kids.
As soon as I get my license, we should just get in a car and drive, like, you know, run away.
You always want to run away, Kate.
This guy just said that his wife was away with his kids. The guy's here making out with someone that he's not seen for years. What's he playing at?
We better get to the hospital.
Had a little accident.
Does it hurt?
Yep.
I didn't do it. I heard Jack. He thinks somebody got my dad sick.
Think because I know you burned the first raft that I'd think you made your dad sick? Telling you before, and I'm not going to tell on you now, and I know you would never do anything to hurt your dad.
Don't open it.
What'd you say?
Don't open it, Mr. Locke. Don't open that thing.
Is that because he touched him? Did he have a vision or something? Oh, I wonder if he's psychic. Mate, imagine if he was one of them psychic people like Claire kind of went to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, he sits down, he can see the futures and stuff. I don't even know, man. All we do know is we kind of set that story up, didn't we? In that episode where obviously Walt's mum died and, you know, her husband or whatever's come back to Michael and he was saying, I want you to be the legal guardian now. You're his real dad. And then he warned him that strange stuff happens around Walt quite often. And we did kind of see one situation where he's talking about birds and then a bird flew into the window and died. Now, that was interesting how that situation just changed, because also he only touched his arm and said, you know, it's okay, like, I won't say anything. And then he was like, don't open it, Mr. Locke, don't open it, and ran off. It's like, yo, what's just happened there, honestly? Personally, though, I still don't feel like it is Walt that's actually done that to Michael.
We want our pilot out of commission before takeoff.
You're off the raft.
We had a deal.
Yeah, well, the deal ended the minute you decided to poison me.
I'm done with you. You ain't done with me by a damn sight.
You're a liar and a criminal, and I'm not letting you near my boy.
Oh, I'm a criminal, huh? I had no idea how bad you wanted off this rock.
Give that back.
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
Give that back.
You all remember Joanna, don't you? The woman who drowned? Now, what's Kate doing with poor Joanna's ID? Get herself rescued, run off with a new identity before half the reporters in the world descend on this damn island? She don't care about nothing.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, it's a mum.
It's me, Katie. I'm so sorry for everything that I have put you through. Help!
Oh, she's shouting help.
Help! Help!
What's going on?
Her daughter's just confused. I was gonna get a doctor.
Hang on. We got a situation here.
Yo, that guy was quick to grab her and call something in. Why is he in the car?
Get out.
I am not letting you do this.
She probably would get done for killing him, wouldn't she? That's probably why she's on the run.
That's why you need to run so bad? You want to tell us the truth?
Yes, I was wanted and caught and being transported back. No matter what I say about what happened, about what I supposedly did, I'm going to jail. But I didn't poison you.
Can't be hypocritical now. Yeah, he's got to let him on it. He was just saying he's not going to let a criminal on, so he can't let Kate on now if he's actually meant that. Do you know what I mean?
Looks determined. You don't want him to go, do you?
Still loves him, that's why.
Make him sick.
Oh, it was her. Okay.
I didn't want him to die out there. I just didn't know what to do. I wasn't trying to hurt him.
He's going. I'd say goodbye.
I'm back on the raft. Set sail tomorrow.
Here to say sorry, Sawyer?
Sorry don't suit me. You cornered me, Freckles. Did what I had to.
I cornered you.
Said if you wanted my spot, you were gonna take it.
That is kind of true, though, isn't it? He's not lying.
Why is it so important for you to be on that raft?
Because there ain't anything on this island worth staying for.
I mean, it's ruthless, but he just wants to get off. Yeah. I want to see them all panicking me on the boat, like, because none of them got any experience.
I'm gonna be on my feet soon. We'll be sailing home before you can even...
I'm the one that burnt the raft. I didn't want to leave, and I thought I could stop him.
Hey, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
We don't have to go.
Yes, we do.
I didn't tell him it was your idea. Why should you be punished? You were only trying to help me.
Jack's good at keeping secrets.
When I was a little girl, I believed that once I found the man I loved, I would be happy. Forever.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh, so that's the end. So, you know, the interesting thing is there that they were saying, yeah, they said that about Kate. She was involved in pretty much poisoning Michael. Now, obviously, the intention was gin, but it just goes to show that when Jack confronted her and saying was, you know, did you poison him? Technically, she did, or she had an involvement in it, and you know, she had a backup and she was fuming because she said, "Do you really think I'm capable of that?" And Jack was like, well, I don't know what you're capable of. Well, it just shows that she is capable of it. And it goes back to what I've said a couple of times this episode, is that when Kate speaks, you know what I mean? You never know if it's the truth, and clearly she was lying, okay? She may have not poisoned him herself, but if she supplied the ingredients, knowing that was to poison somebody, then I would say that is, you know, basically taking part. So it's like, just say it's a suicide bomber, for example. Like the person who blows himself up, yeah, they've done it. But what about all the people that provided them with all of the, you know, with all of the tools and everything, knowing that that person was going to blow himself up? They'll get done for being an associate of the information or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they take a part, they supplied that person to do that, you know, horrible task. And pretty much, you know, you see it here. Yeah, okay, she didn't poison the bottle, it was Sun. But the fact is, she was the one that gave her the idea, and obviously, like, the way of doing it so that they could go at it. And again, I feel like with a lot of Kate's backstory, we have a lot of information that I feel like Kate knows, and when people ask, she doesn't give it, or she gives it in little drips and drabs. And then when it does fully come out, it seems even worse, because she's told them one thing, and then when it's fully revealed, it's like way more, or it's a lot worse. And you know, sometimes it just helps by ripping the bandage off, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Just pull it off, and then you've got the consequences with it there. And it's kind of like what Sawyer done here, you know. It's like, what, you calling me a criminal? I'm not getting on this boat, this raft or whatever, because I'm a criminal. What about the actual true one here on the island? Dragged her across. It's ruthless. But what I'm saying is, you know, instead of like how Hurley was saying, oh, you know, how am I supposed to keep up with what everybody knows on this island? Yeah, just rip it off, mate. Let everybody know. And then if people like you, they like you. If they don't, that's their problem. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's good that it's out there now. I feel like there's still loads more going on with the Kate storyline. You know, she's always been running. Even when she was a kid on that voice note, you know, it sounded like she was saying, you know, I want to run away. And he was like, you always want to run away. And she's like, yeah, you know why? But I don't really know why ourselves. You know, I thought that she was running away because obviously if you look at today's episode, she crashed, he died. Then I thought like she kind of like fled, and do you know what I mean? It resulted into the Australia chase and getting captured, and obviously the island. But something must have happened as well, because obviously we had the bank robbery in one, and I feel like something prior, like why was the mum shouting help, help, help? What's she done to her? Like, why would she not want Kate around? And if you go through the episode, she's been called Kate, Catherine, Katie, you know, and was called Jodie or something when she picked up the letter at the start. So her identity is changing all the time. She gives false stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, it's good for Kate if she's able to do that and withhold, like, you know, and keep it up basically. But like on a place like this, yeah, you just have to be open, because when it comes out, you know, it's not going to be good for you. And wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you've not yet voted for your most likely to dislike characters of this season, please do. It takes 30 seconds and your results and mine will be shown in the final episode of this season. Cannot wait to see who you guys choose. So again, another interesting episode, another decent backstory. Is it just me, or do you also think that escalated rapidly, literally rapidly in that hospital? Okay, she was there and the mum was shouting help, 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 and a doctor come running in. Okay, then Kate kind of left the room, but she'd left in like a hurry, but she was upset, you know. And then this police officer come over and just grabbed her, started calling it in, which again is like well unnecessary. Like, he didn't even know what was going on. She knocked him out, which again is a crime, it is. But he never called it in enough to say, you know, it's a female and she looks like this or whatever's. And then Kate's gone running, getting in this car. Then this police officer comes up with a gun, starts shooting at them. It's like, yo, mate, like, listen, let's be honest, and let's literally be honest. That would never happen. That is such a high escalation. How many times have you been in it? Mate, I've been in a hospital when people are screaming, oh, it's going to kill me, it's going to kill me. Like, mate, it's just like the drugs are kicking in, or, you know, they're losing it a little bit, or they're getting old. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see no police officers running in and grabbing everybody. I just feel like that was a whole escalation. And then that guy, Tom, come running out and he got in the car as well. And why would he do that? He's working, first of all. It looks bad on him, again, if he gets caught in that car with Kate, if she is a possible fugitive. And then they've gone, obviously, it looks like he might have been shot and she's crashed, and obviously he's died, and that makes sense why she's on the run, because she probably would get captured and put away for being in, you know, well, the class it is. What would it be? Would it be manslaughter, where you had no intention of really killing somebody, but you actually did? I think we had that conversation a couple of episodes back, but you know what I mean? Oh, she will be probably done for the death of him. Now, again, you know, I like the capsule thing that they had in the ground, to be fair. I like the concept of stuff like that. And so, like, Billie Eilish has done it a few times in real life, where she sits down and she does the same interview over and over again. She does one each year, and the answers consistently change. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, when she first started out, it's like, what's one thing you could you know, maybe tell your future self. And she's like, oh, I'll stay, you know, I want to keep focusing on the music and work hard and make friends and progress in the music industry. And then like 3 years later, you ask the same question. What's some advice you would give yourself? Watch out for the backstabbers. It's a ruthless game. People try and manipulate to take your money. And it's like, wow, it's crazy, isn't it? Like the same question with a few years apart and how different you are and your different mindset and opinions. And it's like, it'd be so cool to do one, like sit down and let somebody interview you while you're like 20 years old or 30 years old, and then redo it when you're 40 and redo it when you're 50, and then sit back and look at it and see how your life's changed and your, you know, your perspectives and outlooks throughout it. I think it's really good, and I like the concept of it. That was a pretty decent bit, that one. That's where she got the plane from as well. Kind of made sense. She tied it in, why she's got it, what's happened, how the guy actually died. We also had, you know, basically Michael getting poisoned, and we know now that obviously it was Son, but the thing gets pointed bang directly at Sawyer, and he's too quick to point fingers on this island. Sawyer done that, you know, when Shannon's inhalers got taken, and then Jin, he was the one that burnt the boat down the first time, and it was Sawyer this time that's the one that's, you know, poisoned. Thinking like they just instantly go bang and it's you, and you got no way of defending yourself, straight on you. But again, you know, it is interesting that it turned out to be somebody that we didn't expect. You know, it was Walt the first time, I didn't expect that, and then it was obviously her this time, and I thought it could have been possibly Kate, maybe if she was trying to buy it. Maybe she was thinking, yo, if Sawyer's not going to let me get on that, then if I take Michael out and he's hurt and I know how to sail, I can maybe slide in and I could take his position. That's what I was thinking as well. But I mean, sometimes it sounds like a bash at Kate, but I'm not really. I'm just talking and just about, you know, observations that I'm making. I don't mind the character, and it's just like Jack. I feel like he's got a lot of good traits. I feel like he's a leader and he helps people and he's good for the camp. And you know, when someone's in danger, he's always first to it and he's running and he's always like wanting to you know, save everybody, which is fantastic. But then again, if I was flip it, I'd say Jack has some negatives where I think that he's quick and rash at making decisions, don't really listen to people when he makes his own mind up and he just wants to rock forward and go with it. And do you know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean that I dislike somebody if I see something and say, oh, what about that, what about that, and I'm not too sure about that one, or, you know, that's a negative in their personality trait. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't mean I dislike them. I'm just pointing out what I see. I feel like Kate's biggest downfall on this island is that she doesn't tell the truth enough to everybody. So then when people actually do speak to her, they don't know if they're getting the right information or not. And hopefully, obviously, that changes as we progress through it. But that's where we currently are. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.